Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shay and I am a provisional psychologist as well as a part-time pet sitter. Today I wanted to talk about how your anxiety is lying to you and that it's okay to not be okay. Really? Now you're gonna talk? So we got a new bird, a new cockatiel called Lenny, and he has decided to weigh in on today's conversation. He may fly over here, he may not. Anyway, filming a video today is not happening without disturbance. Okay, so the point of the video was to talk about how your anxiety is lying to you. Even though there are dark times during COVID, we are able to overcome them. So in Melbourne, we are going back into lockdown. So lockdown number 2, fantastic times. Don't know why the government just didn't keep lockdown a thing in the first place, but whatever. So I guess I want to start by addressing our anxieties and how a lot of our worries are built up in our head and aren't necessarily true in the greater context of life. So what I mean by your anxiety is lying to you is that when we get in our head, everything else, or everything builds up to be worse than it is. So I guess in the sense of COVID, it would be, it's never going to end. We're going to be unemployed. We might end up homeless. We may be in real or really bad financial debt to other countries if we start borrowing money. Kind of like stuff like that where we can get in our head a little and kind of like think the worst instead of being optimistic, like it will eventually end, even though we don't know when. Doctors and nurses are saving lives each day. People are getting tested. It is eventually going to go down. We're not going to be in that much financial debt to other countries. We will find other jobs, probably that are better suited to us and that we potentially like, and that we shouldn't always believe our anxieties, because I think anxiety stems from obviously worry about rational things, but when we mix emotion in with that, it can become irrational in terms of how we think. I'm guessing Lenny agrees. And the second thing I wanted to talk about, which I made an Instagram post about the other day, which you can follow me at @SlayLikeShay. I post a lot of mental health content, wellness content, as well as pet sitting photos that are kind of lacking lately given the health crisis, but we do what we can. So I wanted to talk about how we can grow and... Are you done? Are you done? Now I've lost my train of thought. Yes, okay. Lenny, shush. How we can... Wow. Okay. How we can grow and bloom. Oh my god. He's literally the worst. He just flew down onto the floor, but hit my table first. Okay. While he's down there and exploring the floor, I'm going to quickly talk about how we can grow and bloom in darkness. What I mean by that is we should take this opportunity to better ourselves, learn a new skill, and be able to go back into society or the wider population being better people. I think this is a really important time to show compassion and kind of look at different perspectives. So people that are disadvantaged, that are living in public housing. I know in Melbourne that the government, I shouldn't say we because I didn't play a part in this, but our government decided to immediately lock down public housing facilities that housed or are housing minority groups and people from low socioeconomic backgrounds, locking down disadvantaged people without giving them proper notice, without letting them go out for food, go out for exercise. And I know that it's to contain the cases that have popped up there, but it's how they've gone about it that is wrong. And so I think right now it would be a good time to practice compassion, put ourselves in other people's shoes, imagine being someone from a low socioeconomic background, which I actually am, so I can relate to how these individuals and children and families are feeling. And it's not a good feeling. Like, you don't want to feel like you're trapped or you have to keep repeating the cycle of having kids when you are in a low socioeconomic background. And I think that by caring about issues like this, we can kind of band together as a united society for what's right. I guess the takeaway from this video is that we can all thrive in this dark time, and more now than ever we need to band together, support our community, support people that are vulnerable, that are at a disadvantage, that are worse off than we are, because if we are in a position to provide care and understanding and empathy to others, we should. We shouldn't take our position for granted. And I think, like, it's all well and good to sit behind a computer and be like, oh, the government should do this, the government should do that, or have like opinions on how people are going about using their time during COVID, and focus on what we can do to help people in need. And I guess in saying that, we can be the change that we want to see, and our generation can set an example for future generations regarding, you know, mental health, people's well-being, sustainability for the environment, and basically everything that prior generations have lacked. So bloom in these dark times, because that's where strength is built, and your strength can be passed on to other people, and so on and so forth. So I hope this video has helped you in some way, whether that's making sense of your anxiety, giving you some idea of what you can do during COVID, quarantine, isolation, whatever you're going through, and just to know that you are not alone. And if you're feeling alone and you're feeling like life isn't worth living, please call a helpline, reach out to a friend, call your family, call your mother, and seek the help you need, because now is a really important time to do that, because I know a lot of people are feeling alone. They are feeling like they don't have anyone because we can't currently see our friends, our family. We can only go out for exercise or food, and it can take a really drastic toll for the worse on our mental health, and we need to make sure that we're keeping our mental health in check so we can better our well-being during COVID, during quarantine, lockdown, isolation. Hopefully it will build a better basis for coping when society returns to normal. Probably won't ever be normal, but when we can go outside and interact with others and see our friends, see our family, and hopefully be a little bit more compassionate and empathetic to others than we were before. So if you liked or enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I'm going to try and do a lot more like mental health talks, because I've kind of been lacking inspiration lately. I've had a lot of personal things come up that have kind of taken a toll on my mental health, and I've just been trying to get that back in check. So if you want to see more wellness, lifestyle, and mental health videos, please subscribe and join our community. I also have a blog that's called A Safe Space, and it basically kind of talks about these issues, you know, mental health issues, wellness tips, anxiety, depression, addiction, and stuff like that. So I will have that linked down below if you would like to check it out. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!